Kemi Badenoch, all sorts of warnings about the threat from Russia. You're here at a drone company in Hampshire. Tell us what you're doing here today.
So defence is critical right now. We've got a war in Europe, increasing threats, and we are not ready. So Conservatives are announcing a sovereign defence fund. That's what we would be doing right now, taking money from Ed Miliband's wasteful net zero projects and repurposing them to get the sort of drone capability that we need to fight today's wars, not the wars of 20 years ago. So accelerating lethal capability, we see what's happening in Ukraine. We need to make sure that we can fight that sort of war. Investing that money will be critical. But the second thing is to try and get Chinese components out of our supply chain as much as possible. We need sovereign capability, we need resilience. We can't rely on China to look after our defense. China is supplying both sides of the war in Ukraine. They're making a lot of money out of it. We need to make sure that we continue to invest in British manufacturing.
Still on Ukraine, the Prime Minister has told Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich to pay up the $2.5 billion from the sale of Chelsea for humanitarian aid in Ukraine. Do you support the government's action? And is this 90-day time limit too short?
Well, I don't know about the 90-day time limit, but I do think that they should use that money to support Ukraine. We have given Ukraine all of the support that we can. Russia is the aggressor. Ukraine is a democracy that has been invaded by a dictatorship. And if we can use that sanctioned money to support Ukraine, then yes, I think we should do that.
On jury trials, 39 MPs have now written to the PM criticising the move to restrict jury trials. Do you support that move?
They are right. Labour has not provided a justification for what they are doing. The right to jury trials is an ancient right. It was in Magna Carta. I don't think this Labour government should be removing thousands of years of history just because it has a problem with running the justice system. What they need to do is get a grip and start sorting out the problems that we have in the justice system right now.
The government says it's necessary to deal with a backlog of cases. Do you have to take some responsibility for that, given 14 years in Conservatives in office?
Well, COVID is what really created the backlog of cases, and we did things to fix that. You know, we were taking judges around the country from low crime areas to high crime areas. They could do something like getting courts to sit during more hours. There's a lot that they can do. They're not being imaginative enough. Scrapping jury trials is just, one extra step that takes away freedoms and liberties. Judges don't always get it right. A jury is there sometimes to help keep that power in check. That's not what they should be doing.
And we're now into the 14th resident doctors' strike, despite the 29% pay rise. What should happen now? And do the doctors have a point about the real shortage of training places for British medical students?
We should ban doctors' strikes. That's something that we've been telling Labour to do. They laughed and said, no, once we give them this 29% pay rise, everything will be fine. This is the third strike since they had that pay rise. Doctors do have a point about there being a shortage of places, but that's something which the long-term workforce plan we put in should start addressing. But Labour needs to deal with that. Doctors are right to complain about them going through all this training and not having a place. At the same time, we're getting doctors from overseas to fill spaces. That doesn't make any sense at all. And that is a legitimate thing that the Health Secretary should be looking into, rather than just sitting back and complaining that the doctors are going on strike.
And just finally, quite a damning report into the state of farming in Britain. Those government changes to inheritance tax kicking in April. What do you think should happen now? Is the government actually listening to farmers?
Well, first of all, I want people to know that Conservatives would scrap all of Labour's changes on family farms and family businesses. Those taxes are just going to destroy businesses. The government won't get the money that it thinks it's going to get. And it's destroying farming in particular in our country. So many people are giving up. We're hearing about suicides in the papers. This is immoral in my view. It's a cruel tax. Labour should reverse that decision. We've been pushing them to do so. We Conservatives have voted against the family farms tax and family business taxes again and again and again, and will continue to do so.